Hi guys. So this video is literally gonna be what the title suggests. Me ranting about Tweek from South Park for however long this video is. So basically it's just gonna be me saying facts about Tweek because I love Tweek so much, and yeah, I freak out whenever I see his house or him or his family on screen. So I think I'm pretty fit to talk about this. Also, please excuse if like my audio on my microphone's like really bad, or if I accidentally spread misinformation, which I probably won't. Otherwise, it's just old information I have written down that I might have gotten wrong. Or yeah, just don't kill me or attack me or be like, you're not fit for this or whatever, because I'm not a commentary YouTuber. I don't know how this works, to be honest. I'm gonna start off by saying who Tweek is, because I don't know if everyone who's watching this will know who he is or whatever, but just off the top of my head, Tweek is a 10-year-old 4th grader named Tweek. Last name is spelled with E and A. Well, his first name is spelled with 2 E's. He is the son of Richard Tweek and Helen Tweek, off the top of my head. He works at Tweek Bros Coffee, which is a family-owned business in South Park with the Tweek family. And he's addicted to coffee. What he doesn't know is that his coffee is laced with meth. And as shown in later seasons, he's also a gay person because he gets with Craig Tucker in the Yowie fan art episode. Yeah, that's just a little basic thingy because I don't know. Tweek has a few episodes where he appears a lot in said episode. Those episodes include Child Abduction is Not Funny, Free Hat, Proper Condom Use, and the Tweek versus Craig episode, and then the Tweek x Craig episode, and also the Cred special. He does appear for a while. Something I like to talk about a lot whenever I mention Tweek is the fact that he is kind of a musical prodigy, in my opinion, because I'm a huge music geek, so I like talking about this. He can play piano really well when he's not under stress, as seen in the Put It Down episode in season 21, I believe. And he's also seen playing the clarinet and supposedly the alto saxophone. It could be a tenor, I can't really tell, but I'm pretty sure it's an alto saxophone. It's definitely not a bari sax or a soprano. But he is seen playing all 3 of those instruments in the show, so that's one of my favorite things to talk about. This isn't a canon thing, I just like to say this as well, because it's a running thing I've seen. I think he's like a really prepared person, because in the episode Proper Condom Use, he had a hair tie in his pocket, and then also in the Cred special, he had a spoon in his pocket, or it might have been a fork. I think it was a spoon, because he had SpaghettiOs. Tweek has quite a few of aliases throughout South Park, which include Wonder Tweek, Outlaw Tweek, Imp Tweek, Barbarian Tweek, Simpsons Tweek, Warboy Tweek, Boxer Tweek, Robin Tweek, Cupcake Maker, and regular Tweek, obviously. The Cupcake Maker one I got off the wiki just because I wanted to make sure that I had all of them. But yeah. For a semi-background character, Tweek does have quite a bit of merch that is official, which include the 2001 plushie that had a string with a loop on the back that you had to pull, and it would make the plushie shake, which would imitate how he like shakes in the show because his anxiety. And as far as I know, the plushie goes for listings as high as $300. He also has the Wonder Tweek Funko Pop, the Tweek x Craig U2's figure, and on Etsy you can find a lot of stickers and keychains and buttons and whatever. He also, I'm pretty sure this is official merch, but if not, it's still a thing. On eBay there's a listing that is a lunchbox that has him on the front, and then on the side it's him with coffee or whatever, and there's one of him with gnomes and stuff. And I'm pretty sure there's more stuff as well. That's just the main stuff I'm able to find usually. This part is kind of just me ranting about a common problem whenever I see stuff of Tweek. Every single time I want to go buy merch of Tweek on like Etsy or whatever, or if I'm trying to find an edit of Tweek, or if I'm trying to find literally anything of Tweek, I feel like people make Craig X Tweek like his whole personality, and that's like the worst thing ever for me as someone whose favorite character is Tweek, and someone who doesn't really care about Craig as much as many people would. Too many people draw him with just Craig, and there's not much fan art where it's just him, and it makes me so mad. And because Tweek is his own character, and I think like even before the whole Tweek versus Craig, Tweek X Craig stuff, Tweek has been his own character, and he has way more potential than just being that one gay South Park character, because he's not just that one gay South Park character. He's a actually interesting character. If you look into his character, he's different from a lot of the other characters, because he's a little coffee addict. He's a generally anxious character. He's more relatable than most characters because he has more common sense than a lot of the characters in the show, obviously. Another thing is that with the game The Fractured Butthole and the Coon and Friends episodes, Tweek and Craig's outfits were implied to supposed to match because, like, Wonder Woman and Superman, Super Craig, Wonder Tweek, you know, and also the fact that Tweek's outfit has, like, the same kind of blue that Craig's outfit does, so it's implied that they were supposed to have matching outfits before the whole, you know, Freedom Pals, Coon and Friends thing, and I find that really cool because, yeah. Craig's guinea pig, Stripe, is technically and legally Tweek's guinea pig, because in The Fractured Butthole, Tweek has the receipt and bought Stripes, so I think it's safe to say that Tweek's just better, you know. Whenever Tweek is under stress, he has to practice finding his center. His doctor/therapist, Dr. Norris, said to find his center. Like when Kenny died and he was the filler for the main guys, he repeated to himself, "I am in a green field," to calm himself down, and I don't know if it worked, guys. I don't know, because he disappeared for like 172 episodes. Though I do think it did work, because in later appearances of Tweek, his anxiety is more controlled. The episodes where Tweek was replacing Kenny, he was almost always tense and shaking. However, in the Cred special, he was way less shaky than beginning episodes with him. But this, I don't know if it was meant to be like character development, or if Matt and Trey just thought it would be easier with animating him if they just made him less shaky, or if they just went more accurate representation or whatever. But I like to think that it's character development, just because the whole Dr. Norris thing with the finding his center, and also just because his dialogue is way more, I don't know, it's way more, he seems way more calm now. I want to say this before I go into a whole big rant about something else with Tweek. He is a great actor, because he was able to get, like, the whole school against Craig whenever they did that fake breakup in the Tweek X Craig episode, because kind of like towards the end of the little public fight acting out scene, he's like, "Who the hell is Michael?" And everyone believed Tweek, and they were like, they thought Craig was a big asshole, and it was like, I'm not saying Tweek was in the right or the wrong, But yeah. I want to go on to the thing about how I think he's kind of a child prodigy because when you look at his room, he is able to maintain like a variety of interests and also maintain like a variety of hobbies slash whatever else, because he is seen working at Tweek Bros Coffee in the Fractured Butthole, and also of course he can play clarinet, saxophone, and piano, and in his room you can see things like Legos and dinosaurs, and also like there's a plane thing and also like kind of like a roller coaster set thing, like those building things. So that's just like a variety of what his possible interests are. And I know this isn't like, this probably is not a big thing just because it's just what his room looks like, but compared to the other kids' rooms, I think that's just a little small detail about his character. Here are the images of him playing the instruments. The reason why I think that is a alto saxophone is because when you look at Nicole, she's holding a clarinet, and it's like kind of really big compared to the South Park characters just because of how tall they are or whatever. And if he had a tenor saxophone, it would be like ginormous, and that's kind of, it's kind of like his height, so I'm assuming it's an alto saxophone compared to what the size of the other instruments are. Tweek is also well known for ripping out his hair, and I've always found it like really funny how he ends up still having his hair in like the Return of COVID movie, but Craig is balding. Make it make sense. I really hate when people mischaracterize Tweek, because no, Tweek is not a soft boy who needs Craig to protect him, but neither is he a big buff man whose kitten is Craig. And I feel like people use his anxiety to kind of like infantilize him, even though he's a child, but that doesn't mean that he's a weak little boy. He's not a weak little boy. He's in boxing. That's a well-known thing. He sends Craig to the hospital, but he also gets sent to the hospital. And he's like, oh my gosh, and freaking people keep mischaracterizing my boy. I'm gonna cry. I also think that it would be really nice to see more episodes where it focuses more on Tweek, like how in the beginning seasons when he replaced Kenny after Butters replaced Kenny, so then he replaced Butters because they kicked out Butters, and also how in the Cred special he's also seen about Craig, but kind of like more since the Tweek versus Craig episode, Tweek x Craig episode, Put It Down, those are episodes that focus on Tweek, but it's more of him and Craig, and it's like, please, more episodes where it focuses on Tweek. I get Tweek as a background character, but he's also not, oh my gosh, I feel like he deserves more episodes with just him. Another well-known thing that's not talked about is that Tweek doesn't really feel safe around his parents because of how he thinks that they're gonna sell him to slavery, or he's gonna get abducted, because in the Child Abduction Is Not Funny episode, his parents kind of scare him into thinking like, oh, you're dead now because you answered the door to a supposed cop, and blah blah blah, like that one image that was shown earlier in the video where it's his dad with the gun and he's at the door, and yeah. I know I'm going kind of out of order, but to go back on the mischaracterizing thing, a lot of people say he's like a socially anxious character when he's not a socially anxious character. He is seen interacting fine with all the other kids in the show, and he also is seen publicly speaking, and when Craig and Tweek fake their little breakup thing, he's publicly acting. I know people also use the whole thing where, in the Put It Down episode, when he was freaking out about the president, that when he was first performing the piano, that he, was kind of tweaking, going off of his name, but, that was not social anxiety. That was him being anxious. There is a difference between social anxiety and being anxious and stage fright or whatever. And that was just him being anxious because he thinks that the president was gonna bomb him. So, yeah. He's an advocate of toddler murderer. Correct me if I'm wrong. If it's not, I don't think it's said in the show, but he is a Buddhist and was originally a Roman Catholic and an atheist at one point. I don't think any of it's stated in the show, but it is on the wiki pages. Tweek's birthday is August 17th, which implies that he is a Leo. Because Leo's season, if I am correct, is July 23rd to August 22nd, I believe. Also, as stated by Tweek's mom, Tweek has ADHD, because after Kyle's like, hey, why do you give Tweek coffee if he's just gonna be all crazy? But then, Tweek's mom says, oh, he has ADHD, which is why he's like that, but I don't think that's why he's like that, guys. But, I don't know if that's just what she was saying, or if he actually does, but, yeah. I know I probably missed a lot of stuff I know about Tweek in this video, but I just wanted to talk about Tweek because I really like Tweek, and I don't really feel like editing a ton of stuff, so, low-key, that's all I'm gonna say for now. But there will be more one day. Trust me. Thank you for watching, guys. I might post more, to be honest. Well, actually, no, I have Bandcamp soon, but I don't know. I've posted 2 videos, though, so I'm kind of just cool, guys.